Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder, and I have a follower submission for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not apologizing to my dad? My mom passed away from graft versus host disease from having leukemia a little over a year ago. She was my family's whole world. My dad and I were the ones with her when she passed. My parents had been together for 28 years. It was really hard on my entire family, but we were getting through it together. Fast forward just 6 months, and my dad sits me down and tells me he's talking to a woman. Not just any one woman, but his ex-wife before my mom. I was in total shock because he always talked crap about her and would get upset with my mom for teasing him about her. So to hear he reconnected with her was mind-boggling. Nevertheless, I gave her a chance. After a month of them talking, my dad asked me to meet her, and I agreed. I had a lot of feelings, but I kept them to myself. He's my dad. I want him happy. When I got to my dad's, he informed me that we were not just meeting her and her youngest son. All of my dad's children are adults. We were moving them into the house my mom had built, but never got to see. I asked him if he thought he was moving too fast, and he just said, "I'm old." So I met her, and she was not someone who my family normally keeps around them. I was surprised because my dad is super reserved and cares about how he presents himself, and this woman does not. When I brought concerns to my dad, he told me that I just didn't understand, and I needed to be happy for him. So I took a step back and just waited to see how things would play out. Several things have happened where we have tried talking to my dad about his girlfriend, but he just says it's an adjustment period. A few weeks ago, we celebrated a year of my mom's passing. My brothers and I believed it would just be us and my dad, even leaving my husband at home. But the day before we were supposed to meet him, he let us know plans changed and he was getting him and his girlfriend a hotel at the location, and we could meet them all for lunch. This caused my brother to bail out of the day. I ended up taking my husband with me because I needed the emotional support, and on the day, I just wanted to spend it with my dad. We were the last ones to see my mom alive, and it meant something to just hug him. Over lunch, I noticed a ring on girlfriend's finger. We didn't finish lunch. I said I wasn't feeling well, and my husband and I left and celebrated my mom on our own. My husband comforting me, saying my dad wouldn't get engaged without telling me. 2 days later, we show up to my dad's for his promotion ceremony. Right before we head out of his house, he casually informs us that, "Oh, by the way, a girlfriend and I are engaged, and she's going to be introduced as my fiance and be the one giving me my promotion." And then he walks away without letting any of his children speak. I was feeling pretty angry and hurt, particularly because when he came up for this promotion months ago, he asked me to be the one to present it to him, and he tells me 30 minutes before that he's engaged and it's just going to be her. We come from a small town, so despite the bomb that was just dropped on us, my brother's husband and I still attended. I did let my dad know beforehand, though after the ceremony, that we would be going home. Not out to dinner with him because we needed some time to process. He was super irritated and responded with, "Excuse me for thinking we would celebrate as a family." I didn't reply because I was angry and didn't want to say something I didn't mean. The ceremony happens, his girlfriend presents him with the promotion and exclaims, "Let them eat cake," which was strange. And after saying hello to a few people who I've known my whole life, my husband and I decide that it's time to leave. As we're walking outside, I see my dad standing there while girlfriend and her son are sitting on the bench. I tell him congratulations, and that's when things go south. He starts ripping into me in public for being rude. He's telling me he didn't raise me to be such a rude person, and he can't believe I would act like this as a grown woman and how disappointing I am. I calmly ask what I had done, and girlfriend responded with, "You look right in my eyes and did not say hello." I calmly responded back with, "I did say hello, however you did not." And she audibly gasped, which sent my dad into a further rage. He told me not to speak to her that way, and she would never lie to him. She then chimes in with, "I'm not the monster in this story, I'm the princess." Mind you, they are both over 50. At this point, I had had enough public humiliation and told him he's letting his children down. When I was walking away, he screamed that I was never welcome in his home again, so I told him he was being an asshole, and have not spoken with him since. My middle brother wants me to apologize and just sweep it under the rug, but I told him I will not. I'm not sorry, and believe our dad owes me an apology. So, am I the asshole?
This is a lot of information to process in a very short amount of time, which I guess is kind of the theme of this whole story. So Dad decided to move on, and not just move on, but move on with his ex. Go ahead and move her into his, the home that was going to be his wife's home. And then basically start inserting her into every spot where his family would have filled before, but still expected them to just be jolly and be there for the ride. I don't know if you can expect that in his shoes. I don't know if you can expect that. Certainly he has the right to be happy. And I don't think anybody in his family would deprive him of that right. I think him moving on so quickly signaled to them that their mom didn't mean as much as they
thought she did to him. And maybe that's the case, or maybe it's not. Maybe he just really needed that companionship. Maybe this is him coping. Maybe this is just his way of dealing with the depression of his wife passing, is by needing to move on, which obviously isn't a super healthy thing to do. Him automatically prioritizing her where his wife was before, instead of giving some respect to where the kids are in this hierarchy. I mean, just automatically just boop. She's top dog now, guys. Just deal with it. Get on board or get out. That I don't think you can expect anyone to be okay with. And I don't know what he's thinking here, not seeing what's happening. Either the girlfriend is an expert manipulator and is just playing him like a fiddle, which is entirely possible, to try to create distance between him and his kids. And maybe there's money behind it. Who knows what the reasons are. But she could be manipulating this chasm that's being created. Or he could just need someone so bad that any threat to her not being there for him, he's going to lash out at. And that's not a healthy thing either. That at least makes it less evil on the girlfriend's part, but it makes it more concerning on their dad's part. There are no good answers here for what's going on. There are no healthy answers, and this is going to be a really tough thing to move forward with your dad with. Space is a good thing right now. Distance and going no contact, at least for a little while, is probably the right play. If he is using this as a coping mechanism, he's going to need time to figure out what the hell he's doing. If she is playing him like a fiddle and is getting ready to take everything that he has, I think you wish you could stop that by speaking up, but he's not going to hear anything you have to say right now. He's not going to hear anything. If it's bad about the girlfriend right now, he is not going to hear it. And it's going to cause that chasm to grow wider. So play the long game here.